I'm now going to demonstrate to you the new website which we are constructing for the Census of Modern Greek Literature update. Some of you may be coming to this recording from the PowerPoint which we have put together to tell you about the project. Others of you may be coming directly to the description of the website. And for those who have already heard the PowerPoint, some of the features mentioned may already be familiar. On this website, we have created to date 3 pages which are reached through the tabs on the top. The first page, the introduction, contains certain basic facts about the census project. At the top here, you see what the census is. It is a collection of references to all the translations and all the studies in English that we were able to locate relating to modern Greek literature from AD 1200 to the present that have been published anywhere in the world. The census is aiming to publish a second edition of the original edition that was published in 1990 and circulated by the Modern Greek Studies Association. What we're aiming to do with the forthcoming edition of the census is to publish it under open access in a format that will render it both searchable and immediately extensible. If comparing with other available bibliographies of modern Greek literature in English, you might want to know that the census contains a new and a very important feature. It attempts to fully index the contents of large collective volumes, anthologies for example, and this will allow in the future detailed searches down to the level which we call iTunes search and retrieval. We are also attempting to make a full identification of personal names by their variant spellings and by authority forms in both English and Greek, and we are tagging the names, the personal names, by their function in each occurrence in the census, whether creative author, translator, editor, and so on. We intend that the audience of the new census will incorporate at least students, faculty, translators, publishers, libraries, scholars, and general readers, those interested in the transfer of intellectual ideas and property between languages, anyone in the English-speaking world who might be interested in the post-classical or contemporary literature of Greece. And at this point, you will see a listing of the collaborators on the census, to which list many names are going to be added. On the second page, we give some sample entries from the census, and at the start, at the top here, an entry for an anthology, which is actually 993 pages in length, and we have here given a partial representation of how we are recording the facts for, or in detail, the contents of the anthology. For instance, here you may see that for one entry we give the reference to the author's name, the poem title, the translators, and the page range of this item, and so on down through the entire anthology. On this web page, we're only listing down to page 159 of the 993 pages. Another type of entry will be listed in a section called Literary History, and you see here a typical entry of a study from a periodical, and in this entry here you see a description in full of a volume of collected essays with the detailed descriptions of the chapters given below. And finally, to give you samples of other types of entries, here are individual entries that refer to authors, Rea Galanaki in this case, and Thanasis Valtinos down below. For each of them, we give the description of a book-length translation of their works, here for Rea Galanaki and here for Thanasis Valtinos. And then in between you see examples of entries for studies on Rea Galanaki in this case and on Thanasis Valtinos in the second case. A third page on the website lays the foundation for identification of the person names in the census. We hope to construct from them a personography, or in Greek, prosopography, in which we will identify persons by their function in each occurrence in the census, and also we hope to unite the variant spellings of each name, each author's name, under an authority form. To give you an example here, for Cavafy, these would be the variant spellings that we have found in the publications incorporated in the census. And as reference for an authority form, we have taken either the VIAF.org site, Virtual International Authority File Site, or WorldCat and the Library of Congress. Going out to VIAF, with which you may not all be familiar, you can see the page for Cavafy, and there are many more multiple spellings of his name, because the site incorporates not just English spellings, but spellings in many other languages. And down below, just to give you a quick look at what happens on VIAF for Cavafy, you could choose to look at the countries in which Cavafy has been published on a map. Such linking should form the basis for much more successful indexing, searching, and retrieval of the names in the large collection of the census. Through these web pages and other additions that we plan to make to this website for the census, we hope to keep you informed as we progress towards publication of the census online, and throughout we welcome your interest and your input. Thank you for your attention.